Oh, blessings, everyone. Welcome to Sunday night. No longer at Rev D's house. We're now in Rev D's hotel room. I am at the early stages of my sojourn to South Africa into the reinvention, the recreation of my new life. I'm sorry, the elephants are gone. I don't know how this is going to be because I'm in a hotel room, though I did stick a giraffe up behind me. This is a gift going to a little girl named Ellie, and she doesn't get it till tomorrow, so I can put it as a backdrop for this time with you. So this is pre-recorded. I'm not doing this live. I am out to dinner at the time you are watching this, but I wanted to check in with you. You know, it is a very interesting journey I am on. If for those of you who don't know me, my name is Reverend Denise Schubert. I am just kind of an average, everyday person who's on this extraordinary, not everyday journey that some people are calling crazy and some people are calling awesome. So I guess it really depends on your perspective. If you're here, you can check in. You can through the chat just identify yourself for each other. I will check it out later and see who was with me and who wasn't with me tonight. Just because I love seeing your faces. I am before I pray us in or bless our time together. Let me just let you all know where we are. Where we are is I'm in a hotel called the Gulf Coast Inn in Naples, Florida. I have sold my home, sold my car, donated 99.9% of everything I own. And I'm now here in this hotel room with 6 suitcases, soon to be 5, getting ready to fly to South Africa, where I will stay for an extended period of time. And I am thrilled to be doing that. If you watched last week's broadcast, you kind of have a little taste of my passion and my love affair with Africa. And we'll see how it goes. I mostly want to talk today about what other people think because the reactions of human beings have been so interesting to me. But let me pray us in. Again, thank you so much for being here. And I hope this somehow works to fill in the blanks before I actually get to South Africa. And we'll be streaming there. Well, I'll talk more about that later at the end of the broadcast. But for now, just join me in a moment of prayer, a moment of pausing in your day, simply recognizing, remembering that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, that we're more than the body, we're more than where we live, we're more than the amount of money we have, we're more than what's going on in the world, we're more than what's on the news. We're more than this. We are birthless, deathless, eternal beings. And I know that it is this truth that connects us to each other and to all beings everywhere. So I know that as we cast our love and our light upon the world, wherever the world may need that love and need that light, I know that it gets there. And I know that it does good work because I know that we walk hand in hand with the ineffable from day one from the first day to the last day. And so I just bless our time together, calling it good and very, very good, knowing that it is perfect for what it is this evening. We let this be, and so it is. Amen. So it is, it is very interesting. There are not many people, I don't think, or I'm beginning to get that there are not many people there. Let me say it this way. I think there are a lot of people who would love to be more free than they experience themselves being, to be out from under the burden of debt and belongings more than they are. So I'm really getting a lot of feedback that says, wow, that must feel amazing. And it does feel amazing. It does. At this moment, I have no home, no animals, no plants, no car, no insurance, no bills, I have 6 suitcases, one too many suitcases. And I am boldly going where no 70-year-old woman has gone before. Now, I don't know that that's true either, but it is more normal, I think. I think it's more normal when you're 70 and you've had a major health incident, which I did. I had my left hip replaced in November, and I had what turned out to be a small stroke a few days following that, which kind of affected my vision, which kind of led to my not driving, which kind of led to my not working. And then it kind of led to my prayer to all that is in the universe. What am I to do with the rest of my life, whether it's 6 months or 10 years or 20 years? What am I to do? What Ricky Byers-Beckwith wrote this beautiful song, "Use Me." We sing at our churches, right? I am here for you. Use me. And the message came pretty loud and clear that I was to return to Africa. That it is a space of my joy, it's a space of my beingness. I feel at home there. It's safe there. I can live without driving. I can be helpful to other human beings, and I won't be living alone. Not only is the owner of the Airbnb, she's on the property, but other Airbnb guests come through, so there's people around, which I think is pretty darn important when you are single and 70 and a woman and all those things. So I just said yes. I've talked many times about how when you pray, when you ask for guidance, when you ask the universe for support, you have to listen carefully. And then when you hear it, you have to say yes, because it doesn't really work to say no. When you say, "Dear God, what would you have me do?" And God says, "Oh, I'd actually have you go to South Africa." And you say, "Well, no, not that. What else would you have me do? Give me choice number 2 and number 3. I haven't lived that way. Actually, I've lived pretty obediently to that still small voice within me that is powerful and potent and loud. And I trust that things will be fine. So one thing I've learned about people is that people want to be more free than they are. And you can start right where you are, by the way. You don't have to do 20 seconds of insane courage like I did and jump off the highest bridge in the room. You can start by cleaning your garage. You can start by going through your closets and finding homes for all of the things you haven't touched for more than a year. You can divest yourself of things that you don't care about, because whatever you don't care about, somebody else will care about. Whatever you don't need, somebody else does need. So divesting yourself, paring down, simplifying, becoming a little more zen is all a really great thing. And you can do that right where you are. Now, I've also learned about people, kind of lost my train of thought there, but I also kind of learned that people are afraid of things, afraid of violence, afraid of going to foreign countries, afraid of not having what they'll need, afraid of making a mistake. And I don't know if you follow your inner guidance that can really happen. Because if you are deeply rooted in these spiritual principles, then you're also deeply rooted in the awareness that you're maintained, sustained, guided, guarded, adored by an invisible presence that is ever with you. And this is the truth for me. So I don't feel like I'm here on my own making decisions and trying to protect myself. I have protection. You remember Star Trek? They would put up the shields when enemies came near. I feel like I have a protective shield. So it's good. The other thing I've learned about people is people want to know what the plan is. Like, what's the plan? They want a very firm plan. Part of me wants a plan. Part of me has lived my whole life knowing what my next move would be, knowing what I would do. I would graduate high school, I would go to college, I would get married, I would have children, I would find a career, I would make money, I'd have a big car, I'd have a white picket fence, I would, have grandchildren, and then I'd have great-grandchildren. I'd travel in my retirement with my darling husband. So in my life, that all got curtailed pretty quickly, given my domestication process. But the truth is that I don't know, and it's hard for people. What do you mean you don't know? It's like, well, because we don't know. But the truth is we don't know. We never know. It's all just a plan. So if you've been following me for any amount of time, you also know that I love to create something out of nothing. Like, what if there was nothing? What if there was a blank slate and you could do whatever you wanted to do? And that's kind of where I am right now, which is I haven't been there for a while. But it's like, well, I guess the answer to that question for myself is I would go back to Africa for as long as I could. I would go back and be in nature. I would go back and take pictures. I would go back and be with people in a place that I love. Because if I can't work here, I'm not quite sure. I mean, this is work. I am working. This is my ministry. So, but that wasn't really the question I asked myself. The question is, now what? So I want to share with you that it really feels nothing but good. Somebody asked me yesterday, am I afraid? It's like, I'm definitely not afraid. Somebody asked me if I was afraid of having another stroke. And I said I was not afraid of having another stroke, that I'm actually doing everything I'm supposed to do. I'm taking all the medications I'm supposed to take. I do believe that the stroke was predicated by the hip surgery, which I'm not having another one done. Thank you very much. So I'm not really afraid of my health right now. I feel great. I do feel great. I'm walking. I'm talking. I'm thinking. I'm not reading books very easily, but I can see distance pretty well. It's almost back to normal. So I'm going to do one day at a time, which is, we preach that, right? One day at a time. What can we do for one day at a time? So my plan, I have one more week here at this hotel. It's not a great hotel. It's not a terrible hotel, but it's not a great one either. But it's comfortable. I'm seeing many people I love and eating dinner out every night. So I'm going to get a little chubby, I fear. But I have lots and lots of company. My traveling companion, David Karg, is a dear friend, and he is traveling with me to South Africa. We'll spend 10 days there in Bush Baby's other room, and we will experience safari together. And he will help me get settled in, get unpacked, and then come back home. But we leave on March 28th, so 1 week from Monday. So still some time I'm going to do my taxes. I'm going to get some exercise, swim a little. I'm right out next to the swimming pool here. Probably more details than most of you want, but mostly I'm just prepared. Everything is shut down. So I have deconstructed my life. I have a little bit of money from all of that deconstruction, which will, of course, support me as I continue my journey. And we shall see. We shall see what happens. I am starting a travel blog on March 28th. So I will be posting a journal of my travels, the people I meet, the animals I see, my emotional experience of being in Africa, what God has in store for me there. So if you aren't already on my mailing list, you can just go to my website. It's DeniseSchubert.com. Very, very easy. I'm also going to continue my coaching practice. So if you want to do some spiritual life coaching, if you're trying to figure out your own brave moment or to recover from some past moment, I do coaching via Zoom, FaceTime, or WhatsApp for a small fee or for a love offering. So we can do that. You can also sign up to get onto the blog and the newsletter. You can do that from my website as well. If you want to support my ministry, you can do that through your love offerings, donations, and tithes. I happily receive them. And you can do that from my website. There's a button right on the front page. Now, once in Africa, I'm going to start streaming Saturday mornings live, and also doing a Zoom connection Saturday mornings live. That will be not for 2 weeks. That will start April 2nd. But I'm going to try to connect with you next Sunday as well and let you know how this week goes and share my excitement of flying out of here the next day. So that's very good. And again, I just want to thank you all so much because, since the stroke and since, so I don't want you to think it was never hard, because it was hard. When your life gets changed for you, or appears to be changed for you, it's harder than if you initiate the change. And so the hip replacement was initiated by me, and the stroke was seemed to not be initiated by me. But the stroke had an impact in that it derailed what I was planning on for my future. But of course, we make our plans, God laughs, because there's a deeper plan. I think I shared a couple weeks ago that I'm actually thinking that my vision will be completely restored once I'm on the continent of Africa, because I think it is my spiritual home, and it's hard for me to think that the lover of my soul would take my eyes away from the camera. So just know with me that a complete and total restoration of my vision is not only possible, but probable. And we'll just hold that, right? Got nothing to lose to hold that as truth. So I think that's it for today. Thank you for joining me in my little tiny postage stamp of a hotel room with the picture of the giraffe behind me. You probably won't be here next time. And you can reach out to me through on my website. There's a contact page, revdschubert@gmail.com. I would love to hear from you. If you want to connect by voice, just let me know a good time, and I'd be happy to talk as well. I'm in this hotel for one more week, so I have lots and lots of time. So I think the bottom line for today is to continue to be brave. Continue to pursue that which will fulfill your life. I want you to live as if you aren't living forever. I want you to live as if you know that you have an expiration date and that you have a finite amount of time to do all of the things that you love. Now, you don't have a finite amount of time because you're infinite, but to live as if you do is to live in a wholly different way than if you think you have forever. I'm going to tell you, you and most people tolerate unhappiness, tolerate lack of fulfillment, tolerate levels of stress way longer than we ever should. That if God has an intention for creating all that is created, it is for the purpose of celebration and joy. I am pretty sure that I am dead on about that. And it doesn't seem like that, given the news, given the situation with Russia and the Ukraine, given the other, that's just one situation in the world that's intolerable. People still continue to poach animals. People still continue to abuse children and elders, and we still continue to live under racism and sexism and ageism. But I want you to know that all of that is about us and not about the infinite. So as we become more loving, those things will cease. As we become more kind and more tolerant, more peaceful, more practical, more committed, as we take care of ourselves and live loving, kind, passionate lives, all of those things will stop. I promise you. And maybe not in your lifetime or my lifetime, I don't know. I mean, we're not in charge of the results. We're only in charge of our actions. So do that, and also, clean your house, clean your physical house, your mental house, your emotional house. Get rid of the things you don't need or want. Don't be afraid to let things go. If you create a void, some things will come back in. I promise you. And I want you not to worry about me not for 1 second. I am so confident and so assured in the rightness of my decision. I have had not one regret as I signed away my house, my car, my things. Do you know what I want to tell you what I did with my cat's ashes. So if you're new to me, you're not going to know, but I had two Siamese cats, Lily and Jasmine, who I got when I was living in Chicago in 2006. And they both died during COVID last year, both of them. So I had their ashes, and I was going to take their ashes to Africa, but then I decided they had no real connection to Africa. So, but they did have a connection to the house I just sold because that was their last home with me. So here's what I did. I mixed their ashes together, and then I had about 15 amazingly gorgeous houseplants because I have a really, really, really green thumb. So I mix our ashes together, and I put spoonfuls of their ashes in each and every of those one of those plants, which were taken, lovingly taken by a wonderful woman named Cindy. So she's going to call me. I just know she's going to call me in 6 months and go, Denise, if you look at these plants, look how they're growing. And I'm going to say, I know. It's because they have good juju in them. Anyway. So I'm feeling complete, like my work in Florida has been completed for the most part. And I may come back for a moment at some moment, but I'm kind of trying to stay out of what am I going to do next. I'm kind of staying and what am I going to do now? Anyway, so much love to you. So let me just give thanks for our time together. So thank you again for your support. Thank you for signing up for the blog. Thank you for your donations. Thank you for giving me meaningful work to do as I navigate this time in my life. And so take a deep breath. Give thanks for everything in your life. Give thanks for everything not in your life yet, but on its way. I know that we have been lifted by being together today. It is good. I am grateful. Peace and blessings. See you next Sunday.